What's going on, everyone? So, Scream has sort of always maintained the same system as far as their films go. You know, you have Ghostface who's knocking everybody off. You have the whole whodunit, the misdirection, the whole game of trying to figure out who it is. Then you have the final showdown with Sydney and the other OGs, and ultimately they're victorious. You get the big reveal, and then Ghostface is knocked off and on to the next film. Well, I have an idea that I want to present and have a discussion with you all about. So as always, join the discussion down in the comments below. And before we get into it, hit that like button. It helps me out a lot, lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. And if you're not, subscribe to the channel, followed by the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. So the first sort of idea that I want to talk about, which is something that I've made videos on, so I'm not going to go too crazy into it. It's the second part that really ties in. I've talked about, one, having no Ghostface reveal, and the potential of Scream 5 ending on a cliffhanger. Scream producers have said that they want to do things different, that they want to take big chances, big risks, and they don't want it to be the same old repetitive Scream. So I've toyed with the idea of a cliffhanger. I mean, it was something that they talked about in Scream 4 because that was supposed to start a trilogy. So I could see them implementing that in this film, and sort of 5 leads into 6, and 6 leads in, and so on and so forth. However many they decide to do. I know they're trying to do a trilogy, but if it's successful, we'll probably get more. But I wanted to also present the idea of no reveal, or let's say that there are multiple ghost faces. Well, what if they have 1 or 2 revealed, and the mystery is the third one? So now you're trying to figure out who's left. You're like, oh, well, there's only these 4 people left, so it has to be one of them, and maybe it's not. Maybe they, there's so many directions that they could go with that. And I think it would be a really interesting layer to add to Scream 5, add to that suspense, add to that thrill. But the sort of main point that I want to hit on that ties into that is, what if there is no ghost, like what if Ghostface wins? Like, think about that for a second. And I don't mean in the sense of like he kills off the OG3 or kills off everybody. But no, like, what happens if he has a motive, or he has an agenda, and he meets that agenda, and he gets away, and that sort of is the cliffhanger that leads into 6. And it also ties into no reveal, because now you're like, who is this? Because again, the formula has always been the same. You have the Ghostface killings, you have the showdown, you have the big reveal, Ghostface dies. And that's it. That's how it is. What if this time they change that formula? I mean, you keep the main whodunit, because that's what we go to see Scream for, right? I mean, we want the misdirections and the little Easter eggs of us trying to figure out, who's who and stuff like that. So they can't get rid of that. But they could change the big reveal. They could change the typical Ghostface dies type thing, and completely flip it upside down, flip it on its head. You think, or maybe one Ghostface dies. Like, say there's 3, or even 2, and one of them is revealed and taken out, but the other one escapes, the other one gets away. Or maybe they turn on each other. We've had discussions on maybe having a Ghostface versus Ghostface. Like, that would be kind of cool. And maybe the one that wins sort of disappears, and now you're just kind of waiting in the wing. And it's a great setup for Scream 6, because we know that it's probably going to happen. So you don't even have to like kill anybody important off. You just have them carry on, and you continue the story into the next film. It's a perfect transition, and it changes it just enough to where it doesn't ruin the film. Because that's the big thing, is like, how much can they change? Because you have the Scream formula, you have the standard, you have sort of the way that we as the audience and the fans of Scream are looking forward to seeing this film. Now, so a lot of that you have to maintain. Again, the sort of red herrings and the misdirections and the whodunit has to be in this film. You gotta have, the opening scene. Whether it's a kill or not, you have to have some epic opening scene. You gotta have all these little points throughout the film that we go to expect. You have to have the big showdown because that's what we wait for. We wait for the end to find out and do all this stuff. Well, what happens if they get away? Or you could even do the big reveal. You could have, say, whoever. You have the big reveal, let's say Vince. You know, you have Vince revealed as Ghostface, and he escapes. And so now you have the manhunt. You have Dewey putting all the little police force on the case to try to find him and track him down. And he's, you know, now you have this sort of new style of Scream that sort of branches off of the original formula. And it's actually, you know, very beautiful in a way, for lack of a better term. Like, it would flow so well because you'd have your typical Scream, but the ending is just completely different, which has been the rumor. I mean, they've sort of talked, and the supposed insiders and stuff have all basically said the same thing, that this ending is, one, going to be the best out of all the Screams, and that it's going to be different than any other Scream that we've gotten. Well, this is a great way to do that. You know, you have the whole Scream, you have the big showdown with Ghostface and them, but whether you want to do a reveal or not, either way, it doesn't matter. You still have that same buildup, that same suspense, that same momentum, and then it just carries over into the next film. I just think it's a perfect way to transition into Scream 6. But as always, this is a discussion, and I want to hear from you. If they did this, would you want them to have, like, would you want them to do the big reveal, or would you want them to, or are you okay with them not doing the big reveal? Like, do you have to have a Ghostface, you know, unmasked, you know, or are you okay with the fact that, like, no, I mean, I can wait till Scream 6 or 7, you know, like, no, as long as the story's good, as long as everything is transitioned perfectly, I have no problem waiting for that big reveal? Or do you want the idea of, like, let's do the big reveal, and now he escapes or she escapes, and now it's like a manhunt. Now it's like a, you know, now it's like a chase thriller on top of that, and Ghostface is just slashing through everybody along the way as he's trying to escape. I think that'd be sort of a nice little change up, a little different. It is sort of reminiscent of Halloween. I get it. Like, I'm sure some of you are going to be like, oh, that sounds like, you know, Michael headed to Haddonfield and just taking everyone out along the way. But no, I mean, this would be more of like, he is a criminal. They know who he is. He's on the run, and he's like killing people for shelter and stuff. But yeah, so let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you haven't yet, like this video. It helps me out a lot. Lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel, followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. See you all in the next one.